On this episode of MythBusters.
See anything?
Zombies. The undead. Roaming the earth, hunting for brains. They found us again. Long thought of as fictional.
It's you and your damn cigars.
Well, it sure ain't your brains. Well, they are fictional.
That doesn't mean we can't test with them, though. Welcome to the MythBusters Zombie Special. Say it with me, brains! Say it with me, brains.
Brains.
There you go.
The Day of the Dead has dawned. Assembled for the apocalypse and joined by the Walking Dead's master of mayhem, Michael Rooker,
I hate zombies.
the team tackles a trio of survival tall tales.
Rule number one, aim for the head.
First, when faced with the army of darkness, does the axe actually outgun the gun?
Groovy.
Then, how exactly does an undead horde heave down a door?
We're coming for you, old man.
And finally, can walkers really outpace the human race?
You do run faster when zombies are chasing you!
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage
70% chance of science.
and Jamie Heineman.
Are you done screwing around?
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Together with Tori Belleci,
Let's chop this car up!
Brent Imahara,
Nothing to take me!
and Carrie Byron.
This should be fun.
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. Stand by for some facts with your fiction. It's MythBusters versus Zombies. If you've ever screamed at the screen, "No, take the axe, not the gun," or argued over the apocalyptic logic of the horde's ability to bust down doors, or wondered why slow-paced, shuffling zombies ever catch anybody, then the MythBusters are here to help. This is the science of the dead.
What's up first?
Well, let me ask you, if you're surrounded by a zombie horde, you could choose only one weapon. What would you choose? The gun or the axe?
The gun.
Right, most people would, but there's a myth that the axe is in fact the better tool.
Really?
Yeah, so what do you say? You take the gun, I take the axe, let's go find some zombies.
Zombies are fictional.
Right, let's go find 100 people willing to dress as zombies.
Okay.
How hard could that be?
As it turns out, not hard at all. MythBusters fans love getting dressed up. Now, how exactly are Adam and Jamie going to test the weapon's lethal efficiency without actually hurting anybody?
As it's Jamie's weapon of choice is a gun, and the only fictional way to kill a fictional zombie is with a headshot, we're gonna need to shoot our zombie volunteers in the face, which means we're gonna have to protect the faces of our zombie volunteers.
The answer is plastic face protectors
I think this is gonna work.
and paintball guns.
This is gonna make my day.
Yep, it's shooting Adam in the face day.
Bullseye! Jamie hit me dead between the eyes while I was wearing my zombie mask, and I didn't feel a thing, which is exactly what I want our volunteers to be feeling. So now the prototype works, it's time to mass manufacture at least 100 of these.
So with the shop converted into a factory assembly line,
Come on, baby.
Adam produces masks for each of our century of volunteers.
All of this work just so that Jamie Heineman can shoot strangers in the face. For science!
Next, Adam turns to the myth-preferred method for wasting walkers.
Now, I'm quite sure you all agree with me that the weapon I've chosen for killing zombies, the axe, is far superior to the gun. But since zombies don't actually exist and I won't be able to drive an actual axe through their ever-loving undead skulls, I'm gonna have to come up with a safe way for killing our zombies.
Cue Adam's clever cushioned cleaver. It'll leave a safe green paint splatter for every zombie brain splattered.
This is awesome. The paintball paint that I put in the compartment last night has beautifully seeped through the foam. Let's see what kind of mark it makes. That is the mark of one dead zombie, except that they're already dead. Let's just call them inactive zombies. Let's get to testing.
And so, with weapons at the ready,
You'll like this place. It's nice and creepy.
the team assembles at the perfect location for a spot of zombie annihilation.
For testing the most efficacious method for dispatching a zombie, a gun, or an axe, we have come to one of our all-time favorite locations. It's not only a big enough space for us to really see and understand what's going on, it's suitably post-apocalyptic.
I feel like I'm being chased by a crawling zombie.
Yeah, brains!
If I was hiding out from zombies, this is exactly the kind of citadel I would seek out.
Zombies!
That's the arena. Now, how will it be used?
The methodology here is pretty straightforward. I'll be standing in the middle of a 30-foot diameter circle that is the human zone. Woof. These zombies will be dotted around the building in their green zombie zone. Now, when we give the signal, they will start their zombie shuffle towards the line of demarcation. Come on. Now, we can't engage them until they reach that orange line, but once they do, they're all ours. I don't expect to make it through all 100 zombies. The question is, how far will I get?
Brains. And the rules will be the same for me, except I'm gonna be packing a gun. Bang.
Brains!
That's the rules and regulations. But how about the test subjects?
Now, let's be honest. Zombies are fiction, which means every way of dealing with them is also fictional. But for the purposes of our experimentation in this episode, we are holding to some agreed-upon zombie tropes. For instance, our zombies are slow-moving zombies. They're real zombies. As for how to dispatch them, we thought we needed an expert. So where better to go than the one and only Michael Rooker, a.k.a. Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead. He is going to show Jamie some of his preferred methodologies for dispatching the undead.
Michael, any advice on taking out zombies?
Well, I notice you have a couple of handy-dandy weapons here. Well, all we need now is a zombie, I guess, huh?
Oh, we got plenty of those.
Cue the undead man walking.
I see. Well, thank you. If they're approaching, you just pop them in the knee. Bang. They're still approaching. Pop them in the other knee. Bang. Of course, they are kind of hungry. And they're a little... Okay, usually I grab them and hold them down like that, and I pop them in the head. Bang.
Nice.
Whew, that's one down. But to test which weapon is the most efficient to deal with zombies en masse, we need a horde.
That is an awesome view.
And for experimental accuracy, they need to know exactly how to move.
Good morning, zombies. Morning! Oh, no. Like zombies. Good morning, zombies. You might recognize this gentleman to my right, Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead. Now, Michael is going to give you guys a lesson in the zombie shuffle.
Using all his Walking Dead experience, Michael coaches the volunteers on zombie behavior. An unintelligent, slow shuffle towards food.
Much better.
With a unique twist.
That's good. Cut. Okay, very good. You're scary. And everybody, you got to develop your own walk. If he's an individual zombie, you're all individual zombies. You're not cookie-cutter zombies. Develop your own deal.
With the demonstration complete, school's out.
All right, commence zombie shuffle now.
And the terror begins.
That is positively
Yeah. I'm happy they're not trying to eat me right now. That's all.
And with the horrifyingly realistic horde assembled,
Listen to that sound.
it's time to get down to experimental business.
All right, zombies, are you ready? Adam, are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Your zombie meat, brother.
I don't think I killed more than 20.
I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13.
13, that's it?
That's not many.
Here's something that you should know about this test. Me being in the middle of this kind of scary warehouse and having 100 really nice people who've dressed as disgusting zombies ambling towards me is nonetheless terrifying, even though it's pretend. Even though I only killed 13 in that test, I'm still feeling really good about the axe as the weapon of choice.
Dead!
I just feel that I can reload faster than Jamie will be able to with the gun.
Oh, I've been killed!
But just to make sure that that test was accurate, I'm gonna have the zombies brought out again. I'm gonna try a second time so we can average my results across both tests.
Adam, back from the dead, gets ready once again to take on the undead.
All right, zombies attack in 3, 2, 1.
Will Adam be able to use his knowledge from test 1 to improve his zombie count? He's a blur of action, holding off his creeping, moaning, and shuffling attackers as long as he can. But, as before, by sheer weight of numbers, the encroaching slow-motion zombie tsunami overwhelms our axe-wielding hero.
I think I got further this time. I think I killed more.
He did, but just barely,
I got 15.
I got 15 as well.
15 it is.
which is an average kill count of 14 and good, consistent data. But will it outgun the gun? Up next is the Heineman.
I just want to get warmed up.
And he means business. Zombie killing business.
Groovy.
What is a zombie? A zombie is a mindless, reanimated corpse with the hunger for human flesh. How to kill a zombie? You cannot kill a zombie for they are already dead, but you can stop them by destroying the brain. One misconception about zombies is that they only eat brains, but zombies have an appetite for all human flesh. How to be infected by a zombie? The most common way of infection is through a bite from a zombie. If you do encounter a zombie, run away and contact your local authorities immediately.
Up next, can the Walking Dead really catch the running living?
In every zombie movie, there's that scene where the horde descends on somebody and just tears them to shreds. And that is the myth that we are going to be testing. Can you escape the zombie horde?
Okay, this is one thing that I've always wondered about, because traditionally, don't they just shuffle at like 2 miles an hour? And it feels like you could just outrun them.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, maybe you could outrun 1 or 2, no problem, but what zombie apocalypse only has a couple zombies?
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's a numbers game, and that's what we're testing.
Exactly. This is gonna be the best myth ever.
The zombie horde has their undead eyes on the living prize. But despite shuffling at the speed of a decomposing corpse, the result is somehow inevitable. The unarmed, fleet-footed humans always get caught. And it's a brain buffet.
How do you guys want to test this myth?
All right, well, let's set up an area, say, the size of a football field, and then get a zombie horde. We'll see if we can run through it and escape them.
All right, well, that means we need some zombies, and we need to figure out how they're supposed to behave.
Well, I know the perfect person who's an expert on zombies. He can tell us what they can and can't do, and he'll help us set up the parameters for our myth.
Sounds good.
So the team will stage the apocalyptic Olympics. It's humans versus the horde in a race for survival. But first up, Tori's meeting one of his Hollywood heroes, legend of the undead, Greg Nicotero.
In order for us to test these zombie myths accurately, we need to get some more information. So we're here at K&B Studios, a special effects house. They are responsible for pretty much every zombie you've ever seen any horror movie. Not to mention the show Walking Dead. So we're gonna go talk to Greg Nicotero right now, who is pretty much the king of zombies, and get a little bit more information. We need some zombie data to test our myth. We just need to know a little bit more about zombies and what they can and can't do.
We used the scene in Night of the Living Dead in the cemetery as our sort of holy grail for zombie movement. They're not very quick. They're attracted to sound. I think sometimes they're attracted to light or dark. I don't think they're very smart. Generally speaking, you just gotta make sure that you don't get overrun by too many of them.
So, armed with the experimental rules of engagement,
All right, zombie apocalypse. We're almost there.
the team assembles at Apocalypse Ground Zero.
Be my zombie killing hat.
We are here at the Alameda runway to test the myth that you can't outrun a zombie horde. Now, the way we're gonna test this is we're gonna create a part of a city that has been overrun by the zombie apocalypse. Now, all we need is a zombie horde.
So we have 150 volunteers for our zombie horde.
Oh my God. Here comes the horde.
Now, for us, that is the perfect number because in our designated area, all of those volunteers represent a population density of Manhattan. That's 90,000 people per square mile.
We're gonna scatter them around the field and try and run from one end to the other. We'll be wearing these mini brains on our backs. If they manage to grab one of these, that means that we haven't escaped the horde. It means that we've been eaten. So now, it's time to bring on the zombies. This is freaking me out.
I don't like this at all.
This is terrifying.
Well, they asked for a zombie horde. Now, some ground rules.
Welcome, zombie horde!
Rule number 1, zombies can only move at a slow shuffle.
Rule number 2, your brains are infected, so you have no rational thought.
Rule number 3, this is your target. Brains!
Let the brains begin!
With a code of conduct established for consistent data,
I don't want to do this anymore.
the animated deceased disperse randomly over the experimental space. A field of play 100 yards long and 55 yards wide that our humans have to cross while keeping their brains intact. And first up to race for the human race is Carrie.
I have to say, I'm kind of nervous. First of all, that girl right there looks like she's actually going to eat me. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through.
It looked a lot easier before the zombies showed up.
All right, let's go.
So with Grant and Tori observing from a safe overhead distance, let the games begin.
Oh, there she goes.
At the heart of this brain game are the numbers. It's one human versus a zombie horde of 150.
Oh my God, that is terrifying!
And Carrie is dodging and weaving at 10 miles an hour, while the walkers can only chase at 2.
She's looking good. She's gonna
doing
make it.
great.
Ah!
No way.
Yeah, she's gonna make it. Come on, come on.
Oh!
And those numbers
Yeah!
add up to Carrie's survival.
Yeah! You do run faster when zombies are chasing you.
Their ineffective shuffling meant the ravenous zombies couldn't lay a hand on her. The myth that you can't outrun the horde is off to a bad start.
So Carrie survived the zombie horde, no problem. But you know what? The next thing we're gonna do is increase the population density by 50%. And this time, it's Tori's turn.
So the field of play is reduced in size.
All right, 25 yards in.
meaning the zombie density is increased to 135,000 people per square mile, matching parts of the massive Indian megacity, Mumbai.
I hope you like Italian food. Oh, boy.
The apocalypse has reached epidemic proportions.
You guys ready? Ready when you are.
Run, Tori, run!
Oh, dodge, weave, good job.
The zombies are clearly more densely packed. But Tori, reliving a twisted version of his high school football dreams, makes it to the end zone safely.
Oh my God.
I made it! Yes! Do I have all my brains? Yes. So I made it through the zombie horde with all my brains intact, and it was insane. The adrenaline was flowing. The zombies were trying to eat me, but I made it through. But now, we're gonna do it again. This time, we're gonna increase the population density even more. And this time, Grant's gonna go for it.
Yep, the myth that you can't elude a legion of living dead is looking deceased. But there's one more host to offer the horde and one variable to adjust: density.
So what we're gonna do next is increase that to 180,000 people per square mile, which is the most densely populated area in the world. And I'm up next.
Hi, everybody. This is Michael Rooker, and welcome back to the MythBusters Zombie Special. I hate zombies.
Well, he's come to the right place, because Adam and Jamie are testing the myth that when it comes to wasting walkers, axe trumps gun.
I have already confronted a zombie horde with an axe, and I was able to down 14 of their undead brethren before they got to my brains. Now, it's Jamie's turn to do the same with a gun and see if he can do any better.
Despite looking good while warming up, Jamie isn't too confident.
For this test, I'm going to be using a 7-shot pistol. Now, the big challenge here is going to be reloading, because while these zombies are moving kind of slow, they do have a way of sneaking up on you.
And there's another issue. Swinging an axe is a lot easier than the pinpoint accuracy required for a zombie headshot. Jamie has his work cut out.
Well, our zombies are all properly protected. You ready to shoot some in the face?
Bring it on.
Okay. Good luck. I hope you get more than 14.
It's time to find out. Jamie and his single-action handgun versus a legion of brain-eating zombies. And the legion of brain-eating zombies wins. Convincingly.
So Heineman's score 25 seconds?
6 zombies.
Not a very good score.
Sad.
I would have thought I would have done better than that. I just got through one clip.
That was really stunning to watch. I can tell you from experience, it's creepy to be in there while everyone's shambling towards you. And he's doing this kind of looking back and forth. It's real tension. And then all of a sudden, like 4 seconds later, the entire circle is full of zombies and Heineman went down. Now he's gonna go for a second run and he's gonna be a little more prepared for this one. I can't wait to see what he comes up with.
What he comes up with are more guns, more ammo, and more style.
This time I'm loaded for bear. I've got 2 on the legs, 2 on the waist, 2 on the shoulders, 1 in the hand. I've got 2 bullets for every one of these 100 zombies. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Heineman, are you? I can tell you're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Guns versus zombie. 3, 2, 1.
This time, Jamie has a pump-action paintball rifle that he can reload much faster. And he starts well, working his way through the walkers much more efficiently than his first test.
6, 7, 8.
But it's still not nearly quick enough.
Oh, no. That's not good.
I'm no expert, but that looks really bad.
Yeah.
Once again, he's overwhelmed before he makes significant inroads into the undead.
I was trying to build a wall of zombies around me so that I could keep these guys away from me, but I tripped on one and then I'm into the soup again. And I still only got off, what is this, 8?
Yeah, 8.
That's how many shots I can get off before they're on me.
That's a result.
And the result couldn't be clearer. Compared to a mobile, axe-wielding Adam, it takes Jamie too long to reload, steady, take aim, and take out the walkers. The numbers don't lie.
So what do you think? What's the final tally?
Well, my average was just over 7 kills.
Mine was 14 kills.
Double.
Double. Axe wins.
At least with single action or pump shotgun.
Sure.
Well, that settles it. Yeah, axe wins.
Bladed weapons rule.
And with the axe confirmed as the apocalyptic weapon of choice,
This is their reward for the hard work. Zombies!
Brains!
it's chow time. Filmic folklore suggests that despite an average speed of just 2 miles an hour, the zombie horde always gets its prey. But with Carrie and Tori already successful in evading the zombie shuffle, it's Grant's turn to try and keep his brains intact.
They look hungry.
He's facing the highest population density on the planet, an incredible 180,000 people per square mile. It's the worst-case urban apocalypse scenario, and the last chance for the myth. But he just can't make it through.
Oh no!
One mistake, and he's down and sworn.
There's too many! So Carrie succeeded in outrunning a horde that was the population density of Manhattan. Tori succeeded at a slightly higher population density of 135,000 people per square mile. Unfortunately, when we got that density up to 180,000 people per square mile, that's where it all fell apart, and I could not escape the horde.
When the horde is in a tightly packed urban environment, it doesn't matter that they're slow. So with the myth back in the balance, what next?
They might move slow, but if there's enough of them and there's no room to move, you're gonna get caught. But we're not gonna end it here. We're gonna try to come up with other tactics to try to trick the zombie horde and see if we can escape.
So, day 2 of the Dead Dawns, and the team once again rendezvous in an attempt to outrun the apocalypse. And this time, they're each packing a plan. After all, when the end is nigh, a good survival strategy is essential.
So we found that we were successful getting through the zombie horde with our head-on dodge and weave technique, but only up to a certain point. So we've come up with some alternate techniques to try and escape the zombie horde. First up is Carrie Byron.
With the horde once again dispersed at the maximum population density, it's time to reveal Carrie's diabolical plan.
All right, Carrie, what's your technique? Duct tape? How's that gonna save you from a zombie horde?
I was thinking maybe like a limp or something.
Oh, that's good.
But then I thought that this would be so much better.
What the?
Wait, what is this technique? No!
Hey, zombie!
No!
It's a classic bait and switch, the type of tactic Merle might deploy. With the horde distracted by a free meal on wheels, Carrie makes a run for it and makes it to the end zone and freedom. Her cynical use of collateral damage
Thanks a lot, Carrie. Way to throw me under the bus.
means she bought herself enough time to avoid being lobotomized.
The rules of friendship do not apply.
Yep, if you have an enemy or co-worker to sacrifice, escaping the horde may be possible. next, it's the might of the living dead.
What's up next?
Zombie teamwork.
Zombies don't do teamwork. They're dead stupid.
Right, zombies don't talk to each other to do teamwork, but they do all have a common instinct, and that means they often work together. You see it in zombie movies all the time. Our heroes are barricaded behind some kind of big door, and the zombies know that there are brains behind that door, and they all gather up, and they're pushing at the door, and they're pushing at the door, and eventually through the force of all of their bodies, they break the door down.
So what you're saying is sort of like many dead hands make for light work.
Many undead hands make for light work, and I think we should test that.
Sure.
It's a classic living dead cliche. Dinner's on the far side of a door, a barrier hastily barred by the desperate living, and yet the uncoordinated efforts of a zombie horde somehow combine to successfully bust down the door. Question is, does a mob really rule, or is this physical force fiction? To find out, Adam and Jamie head for a suitably remote location to test humanity's last stand against the approaching apocalypse.
Look at that.
It's perfect.
Let's get started.
The barn I'm standing in front of is 153 years old. That's right, it was built when Jamie was but a wee lad. And this door is the line of engagement between us and the zombies. It's where we will have our last stand.
There we go. Perfect.
Now, we don't want to hurt any part of this beautiful artifact, so we're not actually going to use their door, and we're not even going to use their barn. We're going to build a steel frame within this door frame that we will attach our doors to for proper zombie testing.
Stylish doors.
They look great. Bring out your dead!
Speaking of dead, Adam will be joining Team Zed, but he doesn't want to actually die. So, in an experiment designed to test the forces of a crowd crushing up against a securely bolted door, serious safety measures are required.
If you take 100 people and have them pushing against an immovable object, and if each one of them is able to exert something like 50 pounds of push, that totals about 5,000 pounds of pressure. So with that in mind, we've come up with this as a solution. Belly bump. These are polyethylene corrugated sewer pipes. Now, you may recall seeing them first on MythBusters in Raccoon Rocket, where we used them as cannon barrels.
Oh my God!
They're light, and they're super strong, and they should do the trick.
All right, here we go. Zombie peer pressure test in 3, 2, 1, push.
And do the trick they do. Just like their undead brethren, the volunteers feel no pain while shoving as hard as they can.
Like, I can't move, but there's absolutely no movement in the chest protector at all. These irrigation pipe sections worked perfectly in this experiment we just did. Our zombies will be able to apply all the force of a full crowd of zombies without hurting the creamy centers of any of the humans playing those zombies.
These are working great.
Yeah, they're perfect.
With the crush protectors in place, Jamie lets the locals know where the food is.
I've laid out the banquet. Now it's time for zombies.
Meanwhile, Adam's been bitten and turned, or he's had an extreme undead makeover. And Jamie's getting into character.
If you're gonna keep zombies out, you gotta have a door. Problem with a door like this one is there's gaps between the slats, and the zombies can stick their fingers through them. But you can hack them off one at a time like that. They don't like that.
What they do like are brains. Juicy Jamie brains. Question is, can they break down the door to get to him?
Hello? I'm a zombie. And inside this building apparently are some brains. In a few minutes, some zombie chaps and I, about 90 of them, are going to make our way towards this door and attempt to push through it using only the power of our own bodies. I personally believe we're going to down this door like a set of matchsticks. Whatever's inside, that's dinner.
Joining Jamie for the Z-Day door duel
I hate zombies.
is Michael Rooker,
Come on, you want some of this? Come and get it!
who seems to have reverted to his Walking Dead character, Merle Dixon.
Come on, come on!
This is it. Will the individual's random 50-pound push force somehow combine at a coordinated point of pressure? And will that be enough to break the barn door cross brace?
Maybe we better back up a little bit.
I think let's get out of here. This is not good! What do we do now, Jamie?
I never even slowed down. You're gonna need a stronger door.
Is everybody okay? The door came right apart. It just pulled one of the planks up. From the inside, it was pretty impressive. That was a massive bodies that just came right in like a column. They didn't even slow down.
Told you I hated zombies. Went right through that door. No effort at all.
Yep, like a hot knife through soft, buttery brains, they broke down the barn door without breaking stride.
Being on the zombie side of the equation for this experiment? Fantastic, because I'm choosing a side in this battle, but it's not with the living. I reached that door with my zombie brethren behind me, and I don't think I actually even broke stride. I touched the door, zombies touched me, and whoom, we were through and we were heading for Jamie. That was stunning. Can't wait to see what a stronger door gives us in terms of a challenge.
With a mixed body bag of results, the myth that outrunning rather than outgunning a zombie horde is up for grabs. Carrie managed to distract with a decoy, but up next is Grant. And as you might expect, he came prepared.
Are you gonna be inside this?
No, my double will.
As far as he's concerned, when it comes to evading the apocalypse, robots are the answer.
So this is my zombie distraction technique. Now, yes, it's gonna employ distraction just like the others, but it's a little bit different. This is a robot that has light and sound. And it's going to have a mannequin that looks like me.
So, Grant has a very complex strategy here.
When I'm ready to deploy, I'll turn on the lights, turn on the sound, it's gonna scream just like me, it's gonna look just like me, and it's gonna draw all the zombies over there, and I'll run the other one.
Hello, zombies, here I am. Come and get me. My brain is juicy and delicious.
That is working really, really well.
Look at that. They're all going towards the robot. It's working.
And Grant plays it perfectly, waiting until all the zombies within hearing distance are sucked in.
And delicious. Come and get me.
So that when he finally makes a run for it, he has a clear path to freedom.
Yeah! I made it! First day Grant didn't quite make it, so he had more motivation than any of us to make this distraction work. And it worked really, really well.
My brain is juicy and delicious. Come and get me.
He did it Grant style. He pulled out a robot with lights and noise and yelling. All the zombies hoarded in on it, and Grant could sneak around the side and get to freedom. Yeah! I made it! I gotta give it to him. I might put robots in my zombie kit, because right now all I've got is duct tape and a machete.
So it's Tori's turn. And back when he visited Greg Nicotero, he had a zombie makeover masterclass.
Looks like you're done.
That gave him the idea for his deceitful distraction technique.
Let's see if I can blend in with them.
Yep, Tori is attempting to hide in plain sight. Before the zombies dispersed, he hid in one of the car wrecks. Now he has to get back to the start line before completing his lap of the field. Will the volunteers recognize the human dressed as a zombie? Will his bloody, decomposing disguise stand up to scrutiny?
Tori's made it all the way here.
What?
He's made it all the way here, and he's heading back.
But halfway to the finish line, he's discovered.
Oh my God. Oh, well, it's kind of worked at first. I mean, I was able to sneak through the horde, but then at one point, a zombie recognized me, and then it was all over. They were all onto me.
But it doesn't matter, because as long as one of us made it through in one experiment, that means it works, and it's busted.
That's right. Distraction is a technique that allows you to escape the horde. This myth is busted.
Totally busted.
Busted. And you could say the team is thrillered with the result.
When I first heard that we were gonna test zombie myths, I had two reactions. One was, oh my God, this is the best day ever. But then my next reaction was, how are we gonna test this scientifically? But we actually came away with some results. Now, it was difficult, and the more condensed they got, the harder it became, till the point it was impossible. However, Grant did figure out a way to distract the horde in order to escape. So, it's busted. This is the most fun I've had in so long.
Is it true that a mass of zombies can combine their push pressure into a door-busting force? Jamie, Merle,
Come on, you want some of this?
and savage head of the undead, Adam, are attempting to find out. So far, unlike the door, this movie myth is bearing up.
Jamie, go get him!
But our human survivors aren't going down without a fight. Suppose their hideout wasn't such a rickety old barn.
So, Jamie, what do you think about this new door?
Well, it's a lot tougher than the last one. This is a proper gate. It's got carriage bolts at the corners of all the main structural members. Something's going to have to snap for them to make it through that.
Well, that should give them something to think about, huh?
Yeah.
If they think.
My zombie horde and I are now going to attempt to breach this barn, except that its doors are new and improved. They're made of thicker wood, which is bolted together, and more powerful hinge points. I still think we're gonna go through it like a matchstick.
A crucial element of the myth is that zombies can't coordinate their push. They're simply straining to find food en masse. But for safety purposes, some ground rules need to be established.
Okay, Adam. What a sight.
Our methodology for test 2 is actually going to be slightly different than test 1. Test 2, Jamie and I have concerns that the doors might give way in unexpected ways that could be dangerous to me and our zombie volunteers. So what's going to happen this time is when I get up to the door, I'm going to stop everyone, and we are going to slowly increase the pressure on the door. That way, we should be able to see if anything's going awry or not going the way we want it to. We're coming for you, old man.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, push!
Yep, the new and improved door isn't nearly strong enough.
Huh? Zombies, we made it!
Not quite, because Jamie has something up his sleeve that's make or break for this myth. Literally.
So here's the scenario. You've got 100 hungry zombies after you. You've got a barn to hide in. And we've already shown that many zombies can exert an enormous amount of pressure on something they push against. So what are you gonna do? What they do in the movies is they grab every spare piece of lumber they can find and they nail it all over the doors and windows. I don't trust those hinges. That's what I'm gonna do. We've already built a sturdy gate, but it's not quite sturdy enough, so I'm just gonna nail the crap out of it, and we'll see whether I can hold them off that way. Let them sink their teeth into that.
This is the part of the episode where things get exciting.
Are you ready?
Do your worst.
I'm coming back with friends.
We did some door reinforcement, and now, as to whether or not we will be able to make it through this door with our collective amount of force, I have no idea. I'm actually really curious about how good Jamie's reinforcements are and how much power we can bring to bear.
This is awesome.
Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I heard some cracking. Hold on. We're going to try that one more time. The same thing again. 1, 2, 3. Oh! One more time. I think we'll go through this door. You are meat, Heidemann. Hold on. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, go. Oh! It's repelled us.
And that's bad news for the myth. Unlike the movies, despite all the creaking and cracking, Jamie's barn door defenses are holding.
We're coming for you, old man.
But if there's one thing zombies have got, it's persistence.
There's brains in there! 3, 2, 1, go!
Huff and puff they might.
Yes, burn!
But the door remains tight. And Jamie does his victory dance.
Never gonna happen.
Zombies give up, Jamie! We give up. Zombies, let's go home!
The zombies give up. Jamie's defenses held up, and our victor lives to fight the living dead another day.
The door was actually really frightening me. It was bowing quite severely, and we had screws pop out. The hinges themselves are starting to curl and come inward.
3, 2, 1, go!
But despite being compromised, it was never breached.
I have to tell you, having been right there at the center of all the action, there was a couple of times I thought it was going to give way, but there was enough pieces of wood that even with the cracking and the splitting and the bending and the unrolling, I could still tell that we could have batted on that all day long. We weren't going to make it through. So where do we stand on the collective power of zombies?
Well, it does add up if you have enough of them, but it's not limitless.
No, it's not.
Yep, and with the myth that zombie power can always pop your hastily reinforced portal well and truly busted, the Day of the Dead is done.
Do you know what I'm really glad about?
What's that?
That zombies don't exist.
What do you mean?